Have you ever met someone who, no matter how much evidence is put before them, refuses to change their mind? Or someone who lashes out when corrected instead of learning? Imagine living in a world where people are constantly making the same mistakes, oblivious to the lessons life is screaming at them. Now, what if I told you that stupidity has nothing to do with IQ and everything to do with mindset? Seneca once said, "Ignorance is the cause of fear." But it's more than fear, it's self-destruction. Today, we're uncovering 9 telltale signs of a stupid person, according to Stoic wisdom. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to recognize, and more importantly, avoid these dangerous traits in yourself and others. Sign 1. A closed mind. A foolish person refuses to learn. They shut down new ideas, dismiss different perspectives, and live in an echo chamber of their own making. Seneca warned, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." The wise remain students of life. The foolish believe they've already graduated. I once had a colleague, Mark, who prided himself on knowing everything about his field. If someone introduced a new method, he'd scoff, insisting the old way was better. When a younger employee suggested an innovative approach, Mark dismissed it outright. Over time, his refusal to adapt made him obsolete. Eventually, he was let go, not because he lacked intelligence, but because he lacked growth. Challenge your beliefs. Read opposing viewpoints. When someone offers criticism, listen. Wisdom is fluid, always evolving. The moment you decide you have nothing left to learn is the moment you start falling behind. Sign 2. Constant blaming. Some people blame their parents, their boss, the government, anyone but themselves. The Stoics taught that while we don't control what happens to us, we control how we respond. Seneca put it best, "Fate leads the willing, but drags the unwilling." Take Daniel, for example. He bounced from job to job, always complaining that his managers were unfair, his co-workers incompetent, the system rigged against him. But when asked what steps he took to improve his situation, he had no answer. He never sought mentorship, never learned new skills, never reflected on his own shortcomings. Years passed, and while his peers moved forward, he remained stuck, still blaming the world. Owning your choices is the first step to real power. Instead of saying, "This isn't fair," ask, "What can I do about it?" Life doesn't reward complaints, it rewards action. Sign 3. Arrogance over humility. A foolish person thinks they know everything. They see disagreement as an attack instead of an opportunity to grow. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If anyone can prove me wrong, I will gladly change. It is the truth I seek." Sophia was an accomplished executive, admired for her confidence until it became arrogance. In meetings, she dismissed feedback, believing her experience made her infallible. When a junior analyst pointed out a flaw in her strategy, she ridiculed him, but the flaw was real, and the company suffered a massive financial setback. Humbled, Sophia finally understood. Certainty can be a weakness if it blinds you to truth. Be open to correction. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, not just those who agree with you. Every conversation is a chance to learn. The strongest minds are not those that stand rigid, but those that bend without breaking. Sign 4. fear of change. Weak people cling to comfort zones. They stay in bad jobs, bad relationships, and bad habits because they fear the unknown. But as Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. I remember a friend, Jake, who dreamed of starting his own business. He talked about it for years, but always found an excuse. The timing isn't right. The economy is uncertain. I need more experience. Meanwhile, others with less knowledge and fewer resources took the leap. Some failed, but many succeeded. Jake remained in the same unfulfilling job, watching as those around him built the lives they wanted. Lean into discomfort. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that something meaningful is ahead. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What if I never try?" Growth begins where fear ends. Sign 5. Talking more than listening. Fools dominate conversations, but learn nothing. They value their own voice over wisdom. Epictetus reminds us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Take Liam, a man who prided himself on being the loudest in the room. In meetings, he interrupted constantly, eager to prove his intelligence. He dismissed others' ideas before they could finish speaking. Over time, his co-workers stopped engaging with him, and when he needed help, no one was interested. His own words had built his isolation. Next time you're in a conversation, pay attention. Are you truly listening, or just waiting for your turn to speak? Those who listen gain knowledge. Those who only talk gain nothing but silence in return. Sign 6. Chasing pleasure over purpose. Some people prioritize instant gratification over long-term fulfillment. They waste time on distractions instead of building something meaningful. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Tom spent his 20s partying, chasing excitement, and avoiding responsibility. Whenever he felt even a hint of boredom or discomfort, he drowned it in entertainment. Years flew by, and while his friends advanced in their careers and built meaningful relationships, Tom found himself lost, wondering where his time had gone. The pleasure that once felt exhilarating now felt empty. Shift your focus. Ask yourself daily, am I pursuing what truly matters, or just what feels good right now? A meaningful life isn't built on fleeting highs, but on steady, purposeful growth. Sign 7. Being easily offended. People who take offense at everything lack resilience. They see every disagreement as a personal attack. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Emma constantly felt slighted. A joke from a friend, a critique at work, even a stranger's comment online. Everything seemed like an attack. Her emotions ruled her, and as a result, she was exhausted, always on edge. But the world didn't change to accommodate her. It moved on, indifferent to her frustrations, detached from others' opinions. Not every comment is an insult, and not every disagreement is a battle. The strongest people are not those who never face criticism, but those who remain unfazed by it. Sign 8. Lack of empathy. A foolish person only sees the world from their own perspective. They dismiss others' struggles and emotions, but as Seneca taught, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. There was a manager, Richard, who never considered his employees' challenges. If someone was late due to a sick child, he saw it as an excuse. If someone struggled with a task, he assumed incompetence. Eventually, his team lost all motivation and turnover skyrocketed. He failed to realize that leadership is not just about results, it's about people. Practice understanding. When someone is struggling, ask yourself, what if this were me? The ability to step into another's shoes is not just kindness, it's intelligence. Sign 9, refusing to learn. Fools avoid self-improvement. They resist new knowledge and remain stagnant. But the Stoics believed that wisdom is a lifelong pursuit. Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." James had been in his job for 10 years, but instead of growing, he clung to outdated methods. When new technology was introduced, he dismissed it, saying, "This is how we've always done it." As younger employees adapted, James fell behind. Eventually, his company moved on without him. Be a lifelong student. Read, reflect, and embrace change. Stagnation is not a pause. It's a slow decline. Growth isn't just an advantage. It's a necessity. Conclusion. Choose wisdom over foolishness. The opposite of stupidity is not intelligence, it's wisdom, and wisdom is a choice. If you recognize any of these traits in yourself, don't panic. The Stoics believed that self-awareness is the first step to self-mastery. So, which of these signs have you seen in others or yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this video resonated with you, like, subscribe, and remember, true intelligence is not what you know, but how willing you are to learn. See you next time, and stay wise.